All right, so today I have Jovan Clark out of Morgan Park, out of the great state of Illinois, lived in Chicago. Says here from the information I have that you're a safety and inside the box linebacker,
Yes,
hard
sir.
hitting, quick, fast hands. I've seen very few with your athleticism. I am super stoked to watch you play in Crimson and Gray. Super
Thank
stoked.
you. Thank you.
I did notice you're a three-star coming out of high school. You look like more of a four to me, dude. You were
Thank you.
just
Thank you.
killing it.
Thank you.
Um, what was it like playing at Morgan Park?
Playing at Morgan Park it's definitely like a legacy, like it's definitely a legacy, playing around like Chris James, my head coach. He's a big time Illinois commit, you feel me? They had big time quarterback Demetrius Jones. My D line coach, Coach Coop, he went to Michigan State. So like it's definitely a rich tradition. So coming to Morgan Park and just just it's a CPS school and just putting Chicago on the map. So it's definitely a privilege playing for Morgan Park for sure.
Looks like you guys got a ton of players too that you played with there at Morgan Park that have some D1 offers. Your
Definitely.
guys' quarterback looked like was just a stud all year. I saw he had
Yeah.
quite a few, three offers, right?
Yes, sir.
Um, I did notice too, looking back, it looked like here on October 23rd, you decommitted from Wyoming and then committed to Washington State. What led you
Yes,
to
sir.
that decision?
At first, I was committed to Wyoming, committed to Coach Savell and them great staff over there. Went down there on my visit, had a great time, talked to the players, bonded with the coaches and stuff, and just ultimately ended up committed. One of my teammates that went to Morgan Park, Chris Durr, he's down there, true freshman receiver. He's down there killing. So, talking to him and all that, which had led to that decision. So I ended up committed down there, and then later on in the season ended up getting in touch with Washington State, and they ended up offering me. So I went down there and visited, and definitely just fell in love with the visit, the staff and all the players and stuff, and they made me feel home. So I ended up talking to my parents and stuff, and ended up making that decision to join Washington State and become a Cougar.
What was it like going? Obviously, Chicago's a metropolitan area, big area. Pullman is down home country,
Mhm.
small area. Obviously, you
Yeah,
got Moscow next to it, but it's a very small town. I personally love Pullman. Phenomenal place to be. But what
yeah.
is the main difference that drew you to Pullman compared to the Illinois area with some of the bigger schools, obviously that recruited you in that? What drew you to Pullman?
Definitely like with Pullman. Like how I ended up choosing like Wyoming. It's quiet and nothing else to do. So I like Pullman. It's not much like it's not a lot going on. I can focus and just grind for football because that's like my main goal is just coming down, just grinding for football and be the best player I can possibly be. And and coming from Chicago, like it's a lot going on, and I just need that time just get away from all that, just peaceful and just grind in for football and lock in and focus on what the real goal is.
Yeah, it looks like that's really your main goal. I saw your Instagram story today. Everything I see from you just looks like a true grinder, somebody that's going to go in and your main commitment is on the field and getting better, and it definitely shows.
Definitely, definitely.
I did note it. You had 24 offers coming out of high
Mhm.
school. That is
Yes,
insane. What
definitely.
I just reading off some of the names here that I have, offers from Georgia, Georgia Tech, Maryland, Syracuse, who we play Friday, Kansas, Louisville.
Yeah,
Those are some big time schools, and you chose little old Washington State.
yeah.
Obviously, with the Georgia, with the Syracuse, even a Boston College, even slightly different programs than what Washington State
Mhm.
is. What drew you, I guess, away from those bigger schools?
So obviously, having a big school is definitely a pleasure. A lot of people, having Georgia, everybody wanted me to go to Georgia and stuff. And when I got offered by Coach Glenn and them in Georgia, it was definitely great. Like I was really shocked, talking to Coach Glenn. He told me like he was even recruiting the 2025 class at the time. He just so happened to just come across my Hudl, and he just saw me and decided just to offer me at the linebacker position. So that was just a blessing. And just having 24 offers is definitely just a blessing. Got to give thanks to the man above. And what made me chose like Wazoo. Yeah, I had those big time Power Four schools, all that, but at the end of the day, I'm looking for playing time and where I really just want to feel welcome. And a lot of them schools, they made me feel welcome for sure. But they also have their next guy up, and I'm the type of guy I feel like I want to be like the main focus or like the main target if you were going to recruit me. And I was one of their main recruits and stuff, but they also have the other guys. So I don't like to be like what my pops would say, like a sloppy thirds in a way. If I'm gonna be your main guy, you're gonna recruit, then show me that. And some of the schools they was really loving me and stuff, but then they saw I was looking for some other schools, so they kind of fell off. But what made me towards like Wazoo, especially for linebacker, a lot of schools saw me at safety, and that last year was actually like my first year playing safety. Nobody really knows, so because a lot of schools are saying like with my height, they ain't really see me playing linebacker, and that was what I always played as linebacker since forever. So Wazoo was really like the first school besides Georgia and stuff to really take that chance on me at linebacker. So when I get the opportunity as linebacker, it's like I gotta take it. That's all I know. Like, yeah, I love playing safety, but linebacker, that's what I've been playing. That's what I came back to for my senior season, and it was just killing. So it's just like no brainer, just come play linebacker for Wazoo.
And you definitely have the athleticism. I don't really see the size deal because I mean, watching your high school tape, man. I mean, you're up in the box, you're physical, you're blowing up plays, you're destroying blocking. I mean, I
Yeah,
definitely think that's a great fit for you. And I didn't realize that was kind of the safety deal because I did notice on Three Rivals, ESPN, all
yeah,
has you listed at safety, and
yeah,
that's actually really neat that you get the opportunity to go and play where you want to play
yeah,
down in Pullman. I want to get into some of this Morgan Park High School stuff. Three
mhm,
games in total that stood out to me, at least on your tape. You guys beat Kenwood 20-0, and on my stat
yeah,
sheet here, I have 11 tackles, two
mhm,
TFLs, a sack, and that INT at 52 yards was just incredible. And that earned you Player of the Game honors against Kenwood.
mhm.
What is it like coming down and playing Kenwood? Was that a physical game for you, or did everything just kind of flow? Because it looked like you were just zeroed in, start to finish
Yeah.
against Kenwood.
Oh yeah, if you know Chicago, Kenwood Morgan Park. That's a rivalry out down here in Chicago. So anytime we play Kenwood, you got to have your best A game. And I had a cameraman come out. I'm doing a day in the life, so it's like I gotta go crazy.
Oh yeah,
Everybody looking for me to have a big game. So and actually I had just actually came back. This is actually like one of my games come back because I had like a little sprain, so I was actually down like the first two. So this is actually like my game coming back. So everybody want to see like how I'm gonna come back, how I'm respond. So like it was a lie. So coming in that game, I'm just like kill mentality. Like it's like we always do. Like last year we had a close game with them and we won those. So this year I wasn't trying to have no close game, trying to put them away. And at first it was a very close. It was a close game. They held it. It was 0-0 to halftime. And then we took away after half and just totally dominated. So getting that interception, really put it away. Big time interception, and just had a great good game for sure.
it looked like it. The other, well, I guess I got two more. Metamora, you had 15 total tackles in a TFL. That is absolutely incredible that you were all over the field against Metamora, and that was a playoff game, if I understand right.
Yes.
So, what is the history, I guess, with Metamora? Is there any sort of history with you guys at all, or is that your first game against them?
No,
Or
it was no history of Metamore. That was our first time ever playing Metamore. We had to go down there, drive 2 hours. We ended up staying in a hotel. We left that Friday night. So it was just like a business trip. Like we said, like my coach CJ said, we're going to go down there. Handle business. And that game, I want to say, like in the beginning, we had a defensive struggle for sure. And I want to say for myself because I felt like they had a little game plan towards me, and they was getting me with the blocks for sure, crashing me down. And I felt like we made some adjustments in the third half, changed some stuff up, and that's when I started killing for sure. And up getting having a great game that second half and becoming player of the game for sure.
55-28. I mean, some
Yeah,
of these
our
point
offense.
totals are just
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
yeah,
55-28 against Metamora. You guys beat Tinley Park 34-0 in a shutout. You guys
hmm
stomped Simeon 42
yeah,
to 6. And
yeah,
then the biggest one too in my mind, at least win for a whole team, was Brooks 62
yeah,
to nothing. Holy
yeah.
cow. I've been around a lot of high school football, obviously here in Washington State, but I can't ever tell you I have never seen four shutouts in a row, let alone 7 in 12 games. That
hmm
defense was. absolutely lights out.
Yeah.
It seemed like the entire year.
Nah, for sure. This defense is definitely amazing defense. Besides me, like you said, our quarterback, he's a big time player. On our defense, we have 4-star corner, Wisconsin commit Jamari Washington. He's out there killing. You know, our linebacker position, we got Jacob Weir. He's out there killing. And safety, Ahmad Greer. We just have a whole bunch of pieces. So, you know, it definitely was like a big defensive effort this season. We want to break like a lot of records or just become a dominant defense. For a long time this season, we stopped a lot of teams out at 0. So that was like the main goal, just show people we can be a dominant defense, you know, and we definitely showed that for sure this season.
You did, yeah, big time, big time. Another question. This is probably kind of a weird one. You wore number 5. It looked like for 3 years straight, and then you switched your senior year to 1.
Yeah.
A lot of people have differences in numbers, and numbers mean something to them. What drove you to take away number 5 and then switch to number 1? Is there any sort of backstory on that?
So freshman year I wanted 5, but it was a senior had, so he had 5, so I had number 10 my freshman year. So that freshman year I dug out 10 and killed. That sophomore year I got 5, and I just liked the number 5. But I always wanted number 1. But player of ours, Tyshawn Griffey at Illinois, he always had number 1. That's Tyshawn been wearing number 1 since we played youth ball. So I was just waiting for him to graduate. Cause you know I wanted number 1 because I'm born January 11th, so it's just like 1-1. So I always just call myself like the one. So I always wanted number 1 for my senior year for sure. So I was glad I got to wear number 1 for my senior year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. There were quite a few of the photos I was looking at and paying attention to. Um, I noticed you kind of make a fashion statement to a degree when you play.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
for sure.
noticed that you wear, forgive me if I'm mistaken, but it almost kind of looks like a hand warmer with CFK on it.
Yeah, that's
And
the
then
brand.
I've been talking back and forth with you and your pops, and I noticed you guys
Hmm.
both have the handle CFK on there.
Yeah,
What is CFK?
CFK. That's my brand that I made. You know, LLC Certified Football King / Killer. I made that when I was just in 5th grade. You know, I just made it at a young age. It was just really just for my youth football team, came out see Thunderbolts, you know. So and I just made all the guys like we all just changed our name to CFK. Then as I got to high school, you know, as I started blowing up, as all my teammates started blowing up, and we had CFK as our name. All the younger kids started putting their name, and all the high school kids. So then it just became like a real ride thing. You know, we got players in college having CFK gear. You know, I even got it tatted on my leg. Me, Tyshawn, and Chris, I got it tatted on the back of my leg, CFK.
Right
So like,
on.
it's a brand. So I'm definitely taking it over and bringing it over to Washington State for sure. Can't wait. And you know that I'm gonna be repping it, you know, forever.
When you get some of that brand stuff going, please send it to me. I'd be more than willing to
You know,
buy
I
any
got
of that stuff. That is awesome.
you. Sure. Thank you,
And
thank you.
then the other one that I noticed too that you were wearing was another deal that said "Do it for Willie." What was the backstory with that? Because that seems very special and sentimental.
Yeah, do it for really. That's my close friend who I lost my freshman year of high school to gun violence. So I always get do it for really hashtag do it for really always on my shirts and stuff. You know, I'm always doing for him. So just praising Willie always. And you know, he was playing football at Morgan Park. You know, that was the goal for all of us. You know, he ain't get to finish it now, so I'm just living it through Willie. So I always get do it for Willie on my shirts for my blood.
I love hearing that. That is absolutely incredible. The Washington State football program, they put this as your bio, and I don't know if you've ever read any of this on your bio, but it's already up. They highlight obviously your 15 tackle game against Metamora,
Hmm.
as well as it looks like you were a first team All Chicago for News Gazette.
Hmm.
How many of you guys in Morgan Park were able to claim that honor, and what does that honor mean to you to get that in your senior season?
So first team all state because that's actually a big time thing around Chicago. So I was actually waiting all after season to see who's gonna get that. So me and another player, Nazir Rankin, who's a class 2026 4-star receiver, we was got that pleasure to get that. So it was actually just a blessing us to get that. It was one of my goals on the off season before the season started to get that all state all gazette. So I'm just blessed, you know. Got to thank the Lord for blessing me with great talents is to go out there perform every game and having me out there healthy and just going out there show everybody, prove everybody who I am. Just gotta thank the Lord for sure.
Yeah, I love the answers with that because without him, nothing is possible. Nothing is
Definitely.
possible without our Lord and Savior. Um, just want to rattle off some of these offers because I noticed you pretty much had offers from your freshman year all the way up to your senior year.
Yeah.
Just to name a few, is your senior year, obviously Wazoo, Wyoming, looks like Northern Illinois. That one, I was kind of surprised that you didn't, or at least that there wasn't more in with Northern Illinois, at least on your recruiting profiles. How much interest did you truly have in Northern Illinois in staying home?
Uh, I had it was like a little bit of interest, my talking to my pops, my cousin Kenneth Smith, he went down there and he played for NIU, so it was just like a talk. It was like a possibility going down there and staying home for sure. But also, I didn't kind of want to. Me personally, I didn't want to stay home. I kind of want to go far when I chose school. So staying home really wasn't like really part of my plan. So it was like it was a possibility a little bit for sure. I could say.
You're gonna love Washington State. Me
Yeah.
personally, I've traveled around a little bit. The state is beautiful, and there's
Hmm.
so much scenery to just get lost. And
Hmm.
that's one of the great things that I do love about this state. Your junior year, it looks like UNLV, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Toledo, Missouri, Kansas. Those are no slouches of football programs. Those are
Yeah.
awesome, awesome offers. Did you make any trips down to any of those schools and take a peek?
Yeah. I went to UNLV. I went to Kansas. I went to what else was on there that you said? Louisville, Missouri. I already said Toledo. I've been to Syracuse. I went to Ball State. The only ones I didn't,
Syracuse.
yeah, only ones I didn't get to check out was the Georgia Tech and the Georgia, but every other one I got to check out besides Maryland.
Besides Maryland. That's so. Let's actually, now that we bring up Syracuse, let's kind of get into that. So you getting offered from Syracuse, and now we're all going to get to sit and watch the Cougs hopefully just dominate Friday. How do you feel with that game? Is that kind of cool to be able to see the school that you're going to compared to where you were offered to now play and see that game? And what are you really looking for Friday night out of the Cougs when they play Syracuse?
I'm actually looking forward for that game to be a great game. I know a lot of people, saying because we had a lot of people at the port and all that, and with all the John material and stuff. But I got faith in the Cougs regardless. All that don't mean nothing. You go out there and play, give your all. You never know what's gonna happen. So you still gotta they still gotta see them at the end of the day. So they're gonna give it their all, and I know they're gonna ball for sure. And Syracuse is a good team. School to offer, but they ain't got nothing on us.
I love hearing that. Love hearing that. So with the portal stuff, I don't want to get too much into the portal. Obviously, there's not really a whole lot that we can talk about portal wise that hasn't already been beaten like a dead horse. But like I had spoke with you earlier, yesterday Jack Foley announced on his Instagram that he is going to decommit from Washington State, and he took an offer over at Wake Forest. And then
Mhm.
Jamar Searcy also backed out of his financial aid agreement, and he's shopping. I
Yeah.
did notice that Wake Forest came in and has offered him a scholarship as well. Where do you see with those folks going over to Wake Forest? Obviously, I don't think talking with you and having this information or this conversation that you're going to be one of them to follow suit. But
Yeah.
what is the draw to Coach Dickert to bring these guys down, obviously, from Wazoo and then potentially bring two guys with him out of this class into Wake Forest? What good things can we talk about with Coach Dickert, at least on that aspect?
Yeah, it definitely sucks, losing Jack and Jamar for sure. Those are two great talented players, and I definitely talked to both of them, and would have loved to play with definitely with both of them, on that type of level. Definitely two great offensive guys going against them, every day. But at first, with Jack, he was already committed to Wake Forest, and coming over, probably playing a big role with Coach Dicker. So when Dicker took the job over at Wake Forest, I know it kind of was a no-brainer that he probably would be going back. I don't
Yeah,
blame him because that's probably what he probably had a felt the way with Coach Dicker, got a relationship with Coach Dicker, so you're gonna go what you know. And Jamar, like he said, it's not like he's over with Washington State. He's just like you said, he's just shopping right now, and like they might have a great relationship with Coach Dicker, and you just don't know like how it goes. And those are great players, and I love them guys for sure. and hope they have a tremendous, great college career, whether they Washington State or at Wake Forest for sure. Great guys for sure. Much love to them.
I concur. Jack, Jamar, if you guys are seeing this, Jack, I wish you nothing but the best. Jamar, I hope wherever your search leads you to is exactly where you need to be. Um, on three, I don't know if you ever looked at the projections on three on your account. Um, Obviously, when you committed to Wyoming, they had your percentage to go to Wyoming at a 79.7%. But do you
Hmm.
know the schools that were ranked above Washington State that they predicted you would go to?
No, I don't know.
Western Michigan,
Hmm.
Bowling Green, Georgia, and then this is where they were all tied. Missouri, Georgia Tech, Maryland, Syracuse, Boston College, Kansas, Louisville, and Toledo. To me, that's
That's
just kind of insane to see that percentage and then you still commit.
yeah.
Um, I don't really have any questions or anything about that. That was very, very interesting to me.
Mhm.
Um, the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about, who with this current recruiting class are you close to, and who are you most excited to play with uh, out of only the recruiting class?
And class I've been getting close with for sure is my guy Melody Tucker. We've been talking. We've been talking daily, playing 2K together. I'm excited to get down there. I know he's gonna be coming in later on. He's not coming in early, so when he come down, I know we're gonna have great vibes and we're gonna click instantly just off just talking. We got a group chat, so with 2025 there's players that's committed, so we all just chopping it up every day, checking in on what we all been doing. And I know I probably will be roommating with Josiah Pratt, so I'm looking forward to be rooming with him and just creating a bond with him. I know we come from two different places, but I feel like our personalities is definitely alike. So I feel like we're gonna bond for sure. So can't wait to meet him for sure.
Do you have any close relationships with anyone currently on the team?
I actually do have a DJ Moss.
Oh, right on, right
That's my
on.
guy. That's my guy.
Um, with that as well, where you're coming in, with a lot of these guys, most of them are defensive recruits. I'm going to
Mhm.
have the opportunity here
Yeah,
in the next few days to talk with Galen McNeil. I'm super excited to sit down and talk with him as well.
yeah.
Uh, where does it line where you're playing linebacker with some of these guys coming out? Where do you think that you guys are going to have that rhythm? Do you think you guys are all going to be able to come in immediately and build chemistry once you hit that practice field in the spring?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. After signing day, and I sat and looked at the little at the when they had put all of our names together and all the things, I had looked at the defenses just like and watched all everybody highlights on the defense and just like this defense is going to be insane within years to come. Like I like how the recruiters and all that they built this class and who they picked. They picked a nice class, especially for the defensive wise. It's pieces around. I feel like once we all click and get that bond, I feel like we're gonna have a great rhythm together. I feel like we're gonna do great things, and I just can't wait for the all click and bond together. It's definitely gonna do special things for sure.
With that, obviously, I reached out to you the day we all learned that Coach Dickert was going to leave.
Hmm.
Your comment to me, I thought, was incredibly professional. You've got a great head on your shoulders, and then obviously the back and forth that I've had with your pops, it
Hmm.
seems like you guys come from a great family. Is that professionalism that you show, at least in that instance, is that how you are every day?
Definitely, definitely. My mom and dad, they raised me well. They always tell me to respect everybody. Chances. Like I know like you told me about how I felt about Coach Dicker leaving. And I know it definitely sucked. Like I told you, Dicker played a big role in my recruitment on coming to Washington State. But at the end of the day, like I told you, just how the business goes, and just during this recruiting process, what I learned, this is all a business, and I look at it as you never know this could be a blessing. You don't know what can happen, So I ain't gonna leave just cause Digger left. I still got my people's told me that if you gonna commit to something, you gonna be 100% in it. And, I ain't from the back out to nothing. I'm gonna take it on head first, whatever challenge it is, whatever we got to go through at Washington State. We gonna keep going until we get it right, until we perfect. To everybody feel us, and I know everybody gonna have to see us eventually. You just gonna have to. It's gonna take time. That's how the building process. That's how it goes. All the building process. We on the rebuild right now. That's all I'm saying.
This is one of the best recruiting classes, at least on paper, that I've seen
Mhm.
in probably 3 4 years coming into Washington State, and that's where it gets me just absolutely excited.
Yeah,
Now, kind of talking coaching hires, as a fan personally, obviously, I don't know a lot about football. You're getting ready to go and
yeah,
play for the team I love, so I love hearing what you have to say. But one player or one coach, pardon me, that I would love to see get a bump is Coach Jordan Malone. I would like to see him as a head man of defense.
hmm,
His defensive players that he's been able to produce have been insane. From Jaden Hicks, Shell Smith Wade,
yeah.
who out of there do you think, out of the coaches primarily, would you like to see as the head man as well? Jordan Malone, to me, and everyone that I've talked to, seems like he is a truly a player's coach, and everyone that I've talked to loves Coach Malone.
Nah, I definitely feel you on that one with Coach Malone. If we're gonna choose anybody to be the head guy on the defense, I definitely say Coach Malone. He definitely is big on with the players, and I feel like he's gonna put us all in the best scheme and for all of us to eat. And I definitely got a lot of trust in him. If we're gonna bring anybody up, it definitely he would be the guy I would say bring.
So, a couple stats just from Coach Malone's team. In 2023, Coach Malone's safeties alone accounted for two of the top three tacklers on the team. Their defense ranked third in the Pac 12 in scoring at 22.9 points a game, in second in red zone defense. And that's where I think if he takes over, guys like
Yeah,
you, who's fast and athletic,
mhm,
obviously I'm going to throw Galen McNeil back out there again playing DB. I really think that that is going to be a good scheme for you guys to go in and produce immediately.
definitely, definitely.
Um, I got just a couple more for you. Nothing really crazy now. You had 7 double-digit games, including a season high 20 in the state quarterfinals.
Yeah,
What is it like just being able to see the field like that? Because you obviously have a ton of play recognition, you know where you're going to go, and a ton of instinct.
yeah.
What? How does that work for you once you get into the field and your mindset changes?
It's just like see ball, get ball, especially at the linebacker position. That's just always just been like a gift of mine. It's like that I can say I always has is like wherever the ball is, I'm just there. And I'm not giving up until I'm getting the tackle or I'm making a play. Like one thing like my coach said, Coach CJ said I got hit this timing. You feel me? Like I'm just right there. I'm hitting you right. I'm just right there on time. And like I just know when to make the tackle, how to get there. So I definitely say that's one of my strong suits is flying to the ball. I know how to. If anybody trying to block me, I know how to get away from blocks, fight blocks, like you said. It's just I definitely say that's one of my strongest points in my game for sure.
What gets you going before a game?
Uh, Definitely them tunes. Music that's gonna get me going. I'll probably play any all Chicago. Got Lil Durk, G Herbo. Then I got to pay my boy Screwly. He gonna get a jumping always. So it's always get turned with the team. The guys play anything that's gonna get us turned for sure.
So you're getting ready. It looks like you're gonna go down to Pullman early, from what I understand.
Yep.
What does that mean for you to graduate early and be able to start your college career just immediately here after the start of the new year?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. Like I said, got to give thanks to God for that. For blessing me to graduate early. Especially at a young age of 17 years old. Not too many can say they did that. So I want to just give thanks to God for definitely blessing me with that. And it's definitely going to be a big stepping stool for me going to college early. Like you said, I leave January 2nd, so it's gonna be a changing thing. It's a little sad, but I'm ready to get the work in. To prove myself early. It's like a head start. I get to have spring ball, all that, so it's like I'm ready to just work and just show everybody. I ain't coming to play around. I'm coming to stand on business. So I'm just excited, just fired up to get things started and becoming cool.
With all the changes going on over there, obviously 27 players have already hit the portal. Most of them, I would say, are pretty much going to jump. I do know of a
Mhm.
few personally that I've talked to, as well as kind of others that I've been hearing grumblings around, that a lot of them just want to know that they're committed, and that
Yeah,
whatever coach comes in is just going to make them
yeah,
a point of bringing them in. There have been a lot of names coming around from like Coach Brent Vegan, Bobby
mhm.
Hauk, as well as Dirk Cutter. Do you have anyone that you've talked to that might be looking for a head coaching gig that you think would just be phenomenal to fill in that role?
Um, I haven't been talking too much about any coaching jobs, but I've just been looking around and seeing a lot, like you said, with Coach Brent Fegan over there at Montana State, and I've been seeing he's been doing a great job over there. So like I know we all just want to coach, like you said, that's gonna be committed to the program, committed to all of the players. It's gonna give everybody opportunity and just make the team a better team. That's all really.
Perfect.
Alrighty, guys, I realized while editing out my conversation I didn't have a real end or an outro with Jovan while I had him on the phone, but Jovan was a wonderful guest and somebody that I encourage any one of you that is going to do any sort of conversations to have one with Mr. Clark. The kid is a wonderful, wonderful individual, and I couldn't be more proud to have had a conversation with him or to be able to even speak with him. I hope that each and every one of us will be able to not only rally around him, but support him through his entire career as one who looks like he's going to be a 4-year Coug. So with that, everyone go give him a follow on his social medias at CFK_JoJo1. And I hope that we're all watching a Cougar win come today. Thank you guys. Go Cougs.